Did you know? Shadows have a dark sense of humor. Caving is something that we all do in Minecraft, so having a good light source is key. But what exactly is the best light source in the game? These light sources give level 10 to 15. An activated redstone lamp, lava, fire, glowstone, beacons, sea lanterns, either types of campfires, torches, end rods, lanterns, or conduits, jack-o'-lanterns, enchantment tables, blast furnaces, smokers, and furnaces, but only when they're activated, and nether portals. These give off light levels of 4 to 9. Packed ice, an ender chest, redstone torch, and activated redstone ore. And these give off a light level of 1 to 3. End portal frames, the ender dragon egg, a brewing stand, magma blocks, and an activated spawner. And for an honorable mention, we have sea pickles, but they only light up underwater. Otherwise, they're just great for decoration. Now let's find out which one is actually the best, and put some to the test. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, it just kind of worked out that way. Now, I will not be testing every single one of these out as I go caving, because some of them are almost impossible to get, like the end portal frame, and an activated spawner. But let me know down in the comments which ones have you tested out going caving. First up, let's test the torch. I think it goes without saying that the torch is one of the easiest ones to get. It's one of the first ones that we craft when we start up a new Minecraft world, and we can craft a lot of them. So using it to light up an area as we go caving, yeah, this checks out. So as of right now, it's going on top. Next, let's test the lantern. If you're a builder, a lantern is a staple in a lot of builds nowadays. And just like the torch, it lights up an area really well. But they're not something that we get right away. To craft them, you actually need iron or obtaining them from librarians. As a light source, I feel like they're top tier, but their crafting recipe, I think, brings them to second place. Just for fun, let's try fire. To do this, we're going to be using a flint and steel. We're also going to be placing netherrack and lighting that on fire. Because if you did not know, if you just light a fire on a block of stone, it's gonna burn out. But on netherrack, it will burn indefinitely. I hope I don't start a forest fire. Smokey would not be happy with that. So just like the torch and the lantern, this gives off plenty of light. But the drawback is we actually have to have 2 different items to do this. Because again, if I light it on a piece of stone, it eventually burns out. But as a lighting source, it actually does fairly well. But I don't think it's as good as the torch or the lantern. Third place. So we know all of these give off a light level of 10 or 15, so I don't think we really need to test them anymore. So let's test the second group. We'll try the redstone torch, activated redstone ore, the ender chest, and to my surprise, packed ice. I don't actually think this one works, so I think someone on the internet lied to me. Let's start with the packed ice and see if this actually works. Just like I thought, that doesn't work. Next, let's go with the ender chest. So it gives off a little bit of light, but it's nothing substantial like the torch or the lantern. Plus, to craft it, you need an Eye of Ender. So I don't really think that the ender chest is viable. Then there's activated redstone ore, which you actually need to jump on or hit with a lever to activate. This actually gives off more light than the ender chest, which is nice, but it burns out. And even though the redstone torch is a torch, it gives off very little light compared to the other options. But it is easier to craft, unlike some of the other lighting sources. But because it's such a low level, I don't think it works. So the current standings stay the same. And so I don't get confused, we'll get rid of that. Alright, let's test out the magma blocks, the dragon egg, and a brewing stand. I don't think they're going to be useful at all. Except for the dragon egg when I'm making an omelet. Now, magma cubes are pretty easy to get, especially when you find them in the nether. I do love the ambient glow that they give off, but it's just not as good as a torch. But because they're easier to gather and you don't have to craft anything, I feel like they're pretty viable. Next up, we have the ender dragon egg, which is supposed to give off a light level, but I'm having a hard time seeing it. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screens. Let's jump down here. Okay, there's a little bit of light given off, but I still cannot see hardly anything. So I think this, yeah, this isn't going to work. And then we have the brewing stand, which gives off a little bit more light than the ender dragon egg, but still not great. I guess that's why we use this to brew potions and, you know, not light our hallways. So I think as for testing all of these out, yeah, I think we know which one's the best. Because of course the winner is packed ice. Nah, I'm just kidding. For the sake of use, I think we have to give it to the torch. I'm going to leave the lantern in second place just because it's purely aesthetic and it looks awesome. And then surprisingly, fire actually did really well. You just need to light something on fire and, you know, not burn down a forest. or yourself. So let me know in the comments down below, which one is your favorite light source to use? And why is it packed ice? But now that you're an expert on all things that include lighting, maybe you need to know how to dye something. And here is everything you need to know about dye in the top right corner. But that's all the time I have for you today, guys. Always remember the most important thing is to be odd and wash your hands. Peace, guys.